going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hey man, I'm going to compare 4 drum sets and we're going to determine on paper, just looking at them on paper, what's the best of these 4 drum sets. We're going to look at the Simmons drum set, we're going to look at an Alesis drum set, we're going to look at a Roland drum set and a Yamaha drum set. These are all 4 drums that can be bought at Guitar Center, and I want to discover for the money, pound for pound, which one is the better buy right here, right now on this channel, man. It's about to go down. So, you ready? Here we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through just like you would at home. Maybe you wanna buy this thing for a gift. Maybe you didn't get one for Christmas because you couldn't figure it out which one you want to do and you're gonna get a late Christmas gift or a birthday gift, or maybe you're just getting one for yourself. So if you're gonna do this, this is what you would do. You would go online and you would pull up the computer and you would begin to shop for your drums. The hardest thing to do though is to compare. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when I pull up the drums here, you can't just do like a click compare button. There's no compare button anywhere on the site, and Guitar Center, I'm pretty sure you can't do that, probably for legal reasons. I get it. But what you would have to do is literally open up multiple windows to switch between all of the drums that you want to go ahead and compare. And then you have to try to figure out what certain things mean, what, how one company says this, and and go through this entire process to determine. Now, what I've done is made this really, really simple. I've done all of the homework, and it was not easy, but I put everything together in one spot. So let me shut this down and bring this up where I've already done all the work. All right, and I'm gonna just kind of make this a little bit bigger and cover up the screen here. So I have these 4 drum sets side by side, and here what we're looking at. We're gonna look at the Alesis Command X. We're gonna look at the Roland TD-07KV. Man, they need to fix these names. They are making it way too difficult. I was on their website trying to figure it out, and I was like, this is confusing. Again, Roland, y'all need to fix that. Also, we're gonna look at the Yamaha DTX6K-X, and I think I didn't even put the rest of the name. Again, Yamaha. Man, these names, man, just can we? Anyway, and then we're gonna look at the Roland SD1200. Now, there's a reason why I chose the 1200 and not the SD1250. And I'll get to that as we go through this. Now remember, my whole point is to prove and show you the value in the in the Simmons product over and above, or even in comparison directly to these other drum sets. And I think when we get through at the end, you're gonna see that there's some serious, you'll see. So check it out. When it comes to the toms on each of the drum sets, you notice that the Alesis comes with 3 8-inch toms with dual zone. So they're dual zone toms. Typically what that means is that you're going to be able to hit the head and the rim itself and get a different sound, okay? So you'll get, you'll be able to play something on sound, which also means you can also change the sound to a different sound. So you maybe put a cowbell up on the edge of one of the rims or something like that. You follow me? So you're going to get that. On the Roland, you get 3 6-inch. Now, that means that these drum heads are smaller, dual zone. Let me say this. All of these have dual zone toms all the way across. The Alesis and the Roland and the Simmons all have mesh heads, which is good. The Yamaha has rubber, which I don't understand why we're still doing this at this price point, because these are all basically $1,000 sets, and they all you have a rubber head. I don't get it. But the Roland has 6-inch drums, and the Roland is a little unique because when they talk about the diameter of the drum, that the 6 inches is the diameter, but the actual playable part is actually a little smaller. So you need to take that into consideration when you go and see it. It's as if they have like a blank spot around the very, very edge. The actual playable side is a little smaller. So again, the Yamaha DTX has 3 rubber toms. They're all dual zone. The Simmons is a little bit different. You get 2 8-inch and 1 10-inch. So you get 2 8, which is the same size as the Alesis, and then you get 1 10-inch, which is bigger than all of the ones that are on this list. So they're right there. Having that larger head, trust me, is better. I wish all of the heads on the Simmons were 10, but you get 2 8s, which is definitely better than a 7.5, or definitely better than the 6-inch. The 7.5, it's a rubber head, so it's kind of, Anyway, so yeah, to me, the Simmons passes these up by having that extra large drum head for the floor tom. So that third tom is a 10-inch. Now let's switch over to the snares. Look at this. On the Alesis Command X, you get a 10-inch snare. That's a good size. Love it. Think they did a good job on that. Checked it out. Definitely a good size. On the Roland TD though, you get an 8-inch snare. So, I was complaining about the size of the Simmons 8-inch drums, and they give it to you as a snare up against these 6-inch toms. I'll keep going. The Yamaha gives you 8-inch triple zone snare, so which is good, and the other two are dual zone. I'm sorry, I passed that up. The Alesis and the Roland are both dual zone, and the other one is a triple zone. 8 inches is a triple zone, which is really, really cool. Now, the Simmons drum is a 12-inch dual zone, and it is the only one except for with the exception of the Command X that comes with the snare stand. The Command X does come with the snare stand. So you get a 12-inch snare, dual zone snare. That's 12. That's good. You can go buy an acoustic snare at 12-inch and love it. It's gonna sound amazing, and they're giving it to you in an electric drum, and it's a mesh head, of course, but it's 12-inch dual zone with the stand, just like you get with the Command X. The Roland and the Yamaha are no stands, so what does that mean is that you can't adjust it as much. So for the money, you're talking $1,000, and you're very limited to where you can adjust it and how you can adjust it versus having that stand where you can turn and twist and move, and you have a lot more flexibility on a stand like you would on an acoustic set. So that right there alone, come on. Let's go to the hi-hat. On the Alesis and on the Roland and on the Yamaha, they're all basically the same size, single zone, triangle mesh, triangle pad part where you hit in the drums. Whereas on the Simmons SD1200, you get the full pad and the 12-inch single zone hi-hat. Ride. Your hi-hat I'm on. Hi-hat in there. You get that automatically. And I need to make that distinction. On all of the Alesis, the Roland, and the DTX by Yamaha, you get that triangle head piece thing. I put it on the screen, you get that. Whereas on the Simmons SD1200, you get a full round hi-hat. The rubber. Yeah, so there's that. Let's talk about the ride. On the ride, on the Alesis, it's still that triangle piece. It's a single zone. It does have choke, but it is single zone. On the Roland, same way, with choke, but it's 12-inch. It's a little bit bigger, and on the Yamaha, it's gonna be the same. On the Simmons, you get now all of them have choke, but on the Simmons, you get a 12-inch dual zone cymbal for your ride, and it's got the choke, of course. And it's dual zone, so you got the bell, and then you got the body of the cymbal itself that you can play on. So really, 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 really good deal on that. So if we look at these two, the Roland, I think I got this on here wrong. The Roland is not dual zone on it. Actually, I believe it is. I think it said dual zone. Let's go look. We can fix this. Let's go look on the Roland. We're gonna go down and look and see if it's dual zone. Hi-hat cymbal integrated pedal, 12-inch crash, choke support, tom cymbal 3. Actually, I think it's not. It has choke support. It is not dual zone. So my chart is off. I do apologize, but my chart is off. This is the hard part of putting these things together. It's hard to go back and forth and compare them. So the Roland cymbal is dual zone with that triangle section. So the only one that gives you a full cymbal is the Simmons drum, and it is dual zone. All right, let's go to the sounds. The sounds is a little interesting. So, and I say this because with the sounds, you get everybody kind of wording things differently. So I had to kind of like figure out what they meant. And it's really the Yamaha that kind of threw me off. But on the Alesis, you get 600 sounds. On Roland, you get 143. So if I'm buying a $1,000 drum set, so I think the Roland in this category is losing out already because I'm losing sounds. The Yamaha gives you 400 sounds. The Simmons gives you 764. I'm not good at math, But if I remember math, I think 764 is higher than the rest of those. I could be wrong. Now let's keep going. On your preset drums, the ones you can just turn and get to. On the Alesis Command X, you get 50. On the Roland, you get 25. On the Yamaha, you get 40. And on the Simmons SD1250, you get 50. Again, I'm pretty sure 25 is less than 40 and 50, if my math is correct. Now, on the user drum sounds, and this is where I got confused and I couldn't figure it out because Yamaha didn't make this playing. On the user kits, basically you can make your own kit. You get 20 on the Command X by Alesis. You get 25 different slots or 25 spaces where you can build your own. And the Yamaha gives you 200 where you can kind of like mix and match and build your own drums. That's a lot of drums if that's what they mean. On the Simmons, you get 25. So 200 is a lot, a whole lot. And I'm hoping that when they say user kits, that's what they mean. All right, now let's talk about the module. Now, as you guys know, I have crushed the Alesis module more times than I care to admit in video. So I'm not gonna go down this road. But all three of these come with a single color, whether it be blue or red, I believe, or white, monochrome LCD screen. All of them with the exception of the full color LCD screen on the Simmons SD1200. Full color screen. At $1,000, I'm still trying to understand why we're dealing with monochrome Game Boy looking. Oh, you know what? I said I wasn't gonna do that. Nah, I said I wasn't gonna do that this time. All right, let's go on. Let's talk about apps. The Alesis doesn't have an app. I've been looking to try to see how they did it. They have some apps, but when I say app, I mean an app that can help you control the drum module, and you can use that as your interface when you're playing over and above against the actual interface that you have in the module. Neither the Roland nor the Alesis have it. Yamaha has what they call record and share app available for Apple Android. I went and checked to see what it does, and it's not bad. It's basically what it sounds like. Record and share has MIDI capability and all of that to get have the ability to connect to the app and play, rather I should say, and work through Bluetooth that way to get you connected and practice and play along. Not a bad app at all. The Simmons app is only available on the Apple brand phone, tablet, or whatever. So that's one thing that I did notice that Yamaha had over and above, is that their app is available for both Android and Apple. Not bad. Good job. But let's go to this next section because I said Bluetooth a minute ago. The Alesis Command X does not have Bluetooth capabilities. Not that I can find. If you guys find that I'm wrong on that, please put it down in the comments because I was not able to find it. And if there's anything that you can tell me about Bluetooth MIDI, they didn't have that available either. At least I could not find it on that site, and I tried my best to search again. This was not easy to do. Roland had Bluetooth MIDI. I really wish I could have found a little bit more information on it, but it does say that they have Bluetooth MIDI, but I was curious to how it worked. Yamaha says that they do not have it. They don't have Bluetooth MIDI at all. And Simmons does. Now, I've actually used theirs. Now, when I say MIDI, I'm talking about normally you would take your cord. I happen to have one here from a different video. You take your cord, you plug it into the back of the drum, you plug it into your computer, and that's how you MIDI so that you can use your DAW, or you can use some other software program that's on there. But with the Simmons product, at one point on my SD600, it stopped working. The cord wouldn't work anymore. So I was in the middle of recording for my single that was released, and I'll put that down somewhere on the screen, and I couldn't use the cord anymore. So I used the Bluetooth MIDI capabilities to connect to Logic Pro and finish recording the song by doing the drums using the Bluetooth MIDI. And that's why I'm very, very curious to see if the Yamaha or the the Roland or the Alesis can do anything like that. And so far, Alesis has not been able to accomplish that. The only one that I think can is the Roland, but I don't have a Roland set in hand to test it out to see what it could do. Hey, Roland, shoot me a set and let me get into y'all's deep so I can really get a real good understanding of what your product is capable of, because I really would like to know if you can do that. Same thing, Yamaha. I really want to get into this app and try it against your product. I really would. So y'all hit me up. So let's check it out. Let's talk about the drums being upgradable. All of these drums are upgradable, which is a good thing. So you can spend a little bit extra money, you can add extra time, or you can add extra cymbal and a time so that you can expand your drums. That is a good thing. However, the one that stood out is very interesting is the Alesis. The Alesis comes with the extra cymbal that none of the other sets come with. So you get 2 crashes and your ride. Everybody else gives you 1 crash and a ride at this price point. But the Alesis drum does not actually offer the actual replacement drum or the 4th tom as an upgrade, even though they have a slot for an upgrade. I'm totally confused by that. To get that, you would actually have to buy the strike drum to go in, which means now your drum is not matched, which I do not understand. So I've yet to find it. Listen, if you can find it and you can tell me where I have to do it, put it in the comments, and maybe I'll do another video and correct this, but I have not found it yet. It's the same way for the Crimson as well as for the Command sets. I can't find it. So yeah, you can upgrade it, but you have to use the upgrade for the Nitro Mesh drum on your Crimson or Command, which is a lower. Yeah, Alesis, y'all got to talk to me, man. I don't understand. Somebody help me out with that one. So you can upgrade all of them. So now let's talk about it. We don't went through these, and there's a lot more we could have gone through, but I don't want this video to be forever long. You look at these drums, you put them side by side, just on paper, color screen. You got your app, and I told you how the app worked on the SD1200. And now let's look at the prices. Both the Roland and the Yamaha are $1,000. The Alesis is $899, and the Simmons SD1200 comes in at $799. In fact, I could have used the SD1200 expanded version, which would have brought the price up to $949. But the reason I didn't do that was because it gave me the extra tom that you can't buy on the Command X, and the other drums would have pushed up to upgrade them to get the extra stuff, would have shot them over $1,000. So I purposefully didn't use the expanded version because it wouldn't be fair to everybody else, because it would bump them. In fact, here's another thing. I almost compared all 3 of these drums to the SD600 drum. That's how confident I was in the product. When I first started building this, I was using the SD600 drum. When you look at a drum that is the OG, that has been around forever, and they seem to be operating autonomous, separate from the actual Guitar Center brand, which is just the retail side, but still being able to function in a way that makes them put up product that is on par with all of these brands that are in this price point. I can only imagine somebody said, well, Alesis makes a better drum. Yeah, but you got to spend, what, $3,000? What's going to happen to all of these drums if Simmons decides they want to compete on that level? What happens to the Strike Pro and others, or whatever they're getting ready to come out with, when Simmons decides, you know what, we want to come for you on the next level? If they ever do that, bruh, it's over. It's over. You know, at some point we have to admit that most people, including you watching this, you probably bought into the brand name. Stop for a minute and get out of your head that the Simmons product is cheap and garbage simply because that's what we're being told, and slow down and look at the drum. Compare apples to apples and not apples and oranges. Don't compare the SD1200 drum to the $2,600, $2,700 Strike, the Alesis Strike Pro, drum. come on, you can't go get the $3,000 Roland drum set with the better module and all of these upgrades and all this, and then compare it to the SD1200 or compare it to any drum that's lower and say this is a better drum. Now you might say, well, you have to compare apples to apples at that point. Compare the Roland to the Strike, but don't, the Alesis Strike, but don't compare those drums with a drum that's priced way lower. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to the drum, and you will walk out of there. And don't let the salespeople tell you that. Don't let the salespeople do you like that. All right, listen, man, I hope you enjoyed this video. There's a thing right here and a thing right here. Click those We Suggesting videos, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.